ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen and ladies, gentle ladies, welcome back to Pet Battles with Lokkth. We have finally made it. It's been a long-ish road, but we are here. We have landed on the shores of Pandaria. It is time to venture forth and defeat all the tamers that we do come across. Be they epic or be they legendary, none shall stand before us. Once again, I have selected 3 pets that we will battle every single tamer with. I'm not going to use them on the final 4 legendary tamers, but we will use them on every epic tamer, and we will use them on the first of the legendary tamers as well, because these pets are awesome and I reckon they can do it. And like my last team, these are all pets that are relatively easy to get, but I will go over that a bit more later during the battles. So without any further ado, let us take on our first victim for the day. And who is this victim, you ask? It is none other than Huna of the Shrines, the Grandmaster Pet Tamer, the epic level Pet Tamer, the tamer who we will destroy with our brand new team. But before we introduce our team, let us introduce hers. Her team consists of Skyshaper, the flying type, Fangor, the beast type, and then finally, the annoying, tanky, aquatic type, Door the Wall. Let's take her down. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so for those of you who did watch my last video on power leveling, you would have already seen this little guy here. He is my new Jade Owl. And now, out of all the pets I have selected for my team, this guy is by far the hardest to get, as the only way to get him is through jewel crafting or via the auction house, and you also do need to use a pet stone on him to get a rare version. That being said, he can be supplemented by most flying types, as he does just I am just using him with flying abilities for the entirety of our campaign through Pandaria. So as you can see, he did make quick work of the beast type, and then we do have a flying type as well. So I reckon he will go down during this fight, but you know, not without putting up a bit of a fight by himself. Now, the reason I chose this guy is because there are a lot of aquatic pets within Pandaria. I'm not going to actually be fighting the aquatic pet on this team with him because I have already been taken out, unfortunately. But the way I try to do these things is without doing direct counters anyway. So I won't tend to, you know, just pull my flying guy out versus aquatic if I don't have to, and vice versa with the other pets on my team. So the second pet we do have is Dale. He is my undead squirrel. Basically, he just has a mixture of undead and critter abilities, which makes him exceptionally good versus a lot of pets, because there actually aren't that many critters on the pet teams in Pandaria, and obviously critters do a lot of damage to undead. So he's quite a decent little pet, that is for sure. And as you can see, you know, he quickly took out our second pet as well, and now we are fighting good old Door the Wall. And mainly just due to the fact that Door the Wall does actually have a shield. It does make all these lower hitting attacks that my squirrel does quite ineffective. As you can see, he's blocking most of them already. So I'm just probably going, you know, fight him for a bit longer with this, and then I will use Corpse Explosion, which is the most awesome move ever. Basically, when your undead pet dies for the first time, as you all know, an undead pet does come back for 1 turn afterwards. You can use the ability Corpse Explosion. Or you can do it beforehand, but there's no point to do it beforehand. Basically what Corpse Explosion does is you sacrifice your pet to do damage and then puts a dot on them. It won't do too much to Door because of his tanking abilities, but versus other pets it is quite effective. So that hit for 301. It was weak, and he also had his shield up, so it did quite a bit of damage considering that. But finally, we do have my favourite new pet. It is my Robo-Cub Baloo. Now this guy is found near Everlook. It's somewhat hard to get, but when I went looking for him, I got a rare within about an hour of just hanging around Everlook, so it wasn't too hard to get him. And the reason I chose this guy is because he is exceptionally tanky, but he can also deal a lot of damage. As we can see, we do have Door almost dead. I have 2 attacking moves, Maul and Demolish. Demolish is an exceptionally hard hitting move. with no cooldown, but as you can see it has a very high miss rate. But basically when I do land a hit with Demolish, this guy is pretty much dead. And there's not much he can actually do against me. As you can see, it looks like I'm about to actually die, so I'm going to repair, knowing that Door only actually has one attacking ability. So I know I'm relatively safe as long as I can just, out-heal that, which I can. And here we go. He goes down now because I did manage to land the Demolish, and I will see you at the next tamer, guys. Next up on today's hit list is Farmer Nishi. Farmer Nishi can be found in the Valley of the Four Winds and has 3 pets. Really? 3 pets? Who would have thought? But anyway, I consider Farmer Nishi to be by far the easiest tamer in Pandaria, and she does come with 3 pets, of course, which are the brood of Mothran, which is a beast type and most likely the last pet you will face, Siren, an elemental, and Toothbreaker, an elemental. And without any further ado, let us do this exceptionally easy fight. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so as you can see, I am sending out my infected squirrel first this time. This little guy is Dale, and you can catch one in the Eastern Plaguelands. They are in other zones as well, but the ones in Eastern Plaguelands are the highest level. So if you want to save a bit of leveling time, hunt one down there. So as you can see, Siren has been the first pet sent out against us, and Siren is an exceptionally easy pet to beat because all Siren has is the one attacking ability, and then other than that, all this pet will try and do is heal. And as long as you can out damage the healing, it's relatively easy to take down. The only thing you don't want to do in this fight is send out your mechanical pet versus the elementals, because obviously the elementals will do a ton of damage. And that's also presuming if you want to even try and do this fight with the mechanical, you don't really need to, as this is pretty easy. So the way I play the infected squirrel is I use Creeping Fungus, which is a dot. It does undead damage, and then I follow it up with Stampede. And as you all know, Stampede is basically this little charge as we're seeing here. And when it does hit, it will hit about 3 times per turn, and it also has a very high chance of shattering the enemy's defense, doubling up the damage they've taken. Now as you can see, we've already taken down the first pet, and we are up to the second one, and he's just doing this little defensive move where you can't really hit him for 3 turns, but he only does about 150 damage per turn. And then I just repeat the process again. We just use our undead dot and follow it up with Stampede, and just watch as the pet slowly withers away. And like our first elemental, this guy doesn't do too much damage either. He does do a slight bit more damage because he does have the 2 attacking abilities and only 1 heal, but that also does make him easier to kill off. And as you can see, we are going to probably be killing him off in a second. I figured I'd just finish him off with Stampede and hope to get a shadow on the next pet as well. And Dale was almost soloed this entire team, but he should go down against the beast type, but he would be mostly dead as well when Dale does go down, because we're still at half health, and he has used Dig, so we do miss him unfortunately, but we should also, it does also mean we get to absorb all the damage this guy's about to do before we get to send out the next pet. So as you can see, Dale has gone down, meaning that this is the perfect time to use Corpse Explosion. And while Corpse Explosion also does a nice bit of damage up front, it also puts a dot on the enemy, which will do 5% of their health as damage per turn for 5 turns. So you do a minimum of 20% of their health. So we are sending out Blue next, because this guy is a beast type, and Blue will have absolutely no trouble dealing with him. As we can see, Demolish misses once again, but the next hit of anything will eventually take down this guy here, and we've got it. I will see you in the next battle, ladies and gentlemen. The third and final tamer we will be taking out in this episode is Mo'ruk, the Grandmaster Pet Tamer. Like the others, he does have 3 epic level pets. Lightstalker, the flying type, Needleback, the aquatic type, and then finally Woodcarver, the beast type. And this guy, while stronger than the last battler, is still not terribly difficult to deal with, so without any further ado, let's take him down as well. So once again, Dale is the first to venture out onto the battlefield. He is going to be fighting the flying type. Probably not the best matchup for him, but it doesn't really matter. This tamer, as I said, is pretty easy by himself as well. And we're just going to repeat the same process I used with Dale in the last battle, which is of course to dot up the enemy and then to use Stampede. And the reason you do that is because, as you can see, Stampede does shatter the defenses of our enemies, and thus it increases the damage done by the dot by 2 times, which is always good. So basically it does allow Dale to do a ton of damage, but unfortunately we just got crit like a mofo and then put to sleep. So Dale isn't even going to get to use Corpse Explosion, so I'm just going to pass this turn and let Dale absorb a bit of damage before dying a horribly squirrely death again. Next up, we are going to send out Hooters the Jade Owl. Very original name, I know. And he should be able to deal with this pet and probably the next pet, no matter what it is, quite easily. So now we do have the beast. So I am going to use Slicing Winds. For those who don't know, Slicing Winds is an attack that just can randomly hit between 1 and 3 times. So that time we got 2 hits, and the beast has burrowed, so we're going to fly, dodge that, and then hit him like a truck, hopefully. Attack, Jade Owl, do your damage. Oh, nice, we got a crit. So our next hit should be able to finish him off, and I will use my good old little speed. Oh, I didn't finish him, but now that we're faster than him, that should be fine. And there we go, we kill him off. And now we do have the aquatic pet. Now this guy is very much like Door the Wall. The only difference is that he does have an extra attack, but he has less defensive abilities. So he will deal more damage, but he's also easier to kill. And I actually think he's easier to handle than Door the Wall, because Door the Wall's offensive abilities are just crazy. And, oh, amazingly good hits. And I will see you next time.
Okay, Smeagol's been practicing his pet battles now, yes! We will be victorious! Go! What was that? Oh, Rex, why would someone message? Why would they message me now? Oh, if it was the fat rabbits, we kills it later. Yes, we kills it! Oh, let's battle again! We'll win it this time! No more distractions! Yes, it will be hilarious! Send out the chipmunk! Yes! Go Dale! Attack with poison! No, don't get attacked! Attack! Ah!
To the washer.